hear me, my kings and queens, my Bantu throughout the four corners of the earth, from the east to the west, from the north to the south. I want to welcome one and all for being here with me today, and Nkosi for your patience as I await the leading of the Spirit to do my videos. I am not like the other YouTubers. I am guided by the Spirit. And if I am preoccupied, then I cannot give this my all. I can't give this my highest spiritual self. And it takes the highest spiritual self to actually connect with the creator, Sonini, in order to download and to share substance of value, substance that are pure, genuine, and true. So I give Nkosi, I give thanks for your patience and that you're still here with me. And a big thank you for my new subscribers. You're in for a ride. Because one thing that you'll get here that you won't get anywhere else is you will get truth without ego. You'll get humble truth, a humble guidance, a humble direction, and you will be sparked. You won't be forced, pressured, and you won't be judged here. But what you will hear on this platform is truth. It will be nothing but truth. So if that's what you're here for, stick around. So today's video will be not a lengthy one because it's just one topic that came in my spirit, and it has for about a week or two now. And I just got the spiritual go ahead and record this. And I've had conversation with a number of persons, and what I'm about to say is a very difficult pill to swallow. But like I say, you're not here to receive easy pills. You're here to receive the difficult ones. So we all know that Sonini is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He's the one that is put over any trust. He's the one over common law. There is none above Sonini. And don't mind me when I address Sonini as he, because the name Sonini does entail a she as well. But I will do a special video on that. Actually, I might just tag the sister that did the breakdown of the name that gives you an insight. Sonini, the creator, is all powerful, all knowing, all righteous, all true. Everything comes from within Sonini. And if male and female exist here on this plane, then that is also what Sonini is. One is not less than, one is not more than. The roles might appear different, but it's like the whole body working in harmony. As important as the heart and the brain might be, without the rest of the body, what can the brain and the heart accomplish? What can it maintain? Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Sonini abhor, he hates, he's very displeased with meat eating, with the eating of any flesh. So much so that it is viewed in Sonini's spirit as any other sin, or like fornication, murder, sacrifice. It doesn't matter what sin you name, the eating of meat is among it. I know that might be a shocker but it's not really. And I draw my knowledge, my wisdom, my understanding from the spiritual realm, and not rely on the physical evidences that are out there. I mean, the scientific any evidence that is out there does support, if you look closely enough. You can't look on the cover or look on the face of that evidence to find the support. You have to look deep within, and your perception, your sense of direction has to be open up to actually able to ascertain and see that the scientific evidence or the natural evidence or the observation of the universe does support a specific fact. So looking within, and looking within means you're actually looking towards Sonini Nanini, and that alone will give you all the evidence you need that Sonini Nanini abhor meat eating as much as he does fornication, murder, and sacrifice, or any other sins. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to sum this up as is, I'm not judging anyone, I'm not putting anyone down, I'm not forcing anyone to stop eating meat. What I'm trying to do is enlighten you. Now, with the enlightenment, you choose to do what you want with it. You can continue consuming your meat, or you might choose to stop, or you might sometime in the future decide to take that journey. And it's a gradual process, because it's an addiction in and of itself. It's an addiction. So you can't stop cold turkey. I myself is still working through that. So don't feel offended. Don't feel sad. Don't feel depressed, worried, concerned. If you're not in that place to actually receive this food, consume it, and actually act on it. This is just to open your eyes so that as time progresses, you can decide what you want to do with it. Just as though we may refrain from sexual immorality, from murder, violating the Samba Day, we should do the same for all of the sins, right? We don't pick and choose what sin is righteous, what sin we should follow, which one we can let slide. If it's against Sonini Nanini, it's against Sonini Nanini in equal value to any other sin. He doesn't hold one sin above the other, even if the consequences of one far outweigh another. A lot of persons are going to say that it's not in the law, in the Levitical law. But what we must remember when we discuss these things, or when we connect to the source, to Sonini Nanini, and he revealed this thing in us, is that a lot of stuff has been edited, altered, removed from the Bantu scroll that they claim is called the Dead Sea Scroll. We know it's a Bantu scroll. They call it the Dead Sea Scroll. So a lot of things have been removed. And remember, they've only found fragments. And I know they did not only find fragments. They found the entire thing. They have the entire thing hidden. They just won't reveal all of it. They just reveal the portions that they've either altered, or the portions that support the arguments or the perception that they want us to have. So, when you look at there's key things in the Bible, which derives from the Bantu scrolls, of course, that will highlight you to the fact that we are not to consume any animal or animal product. And let's be careful about what animal product is. I'll get to that in the end, because it's not as clear-cut as it may seem. Because then you're going to ask, what about honey? Honey is animal product. It is not. It's okay to consume honey. So when you look in Genesis, right, in creation, when you focus on creation in the beginning, and then you have the day where man was created, right? He created creatures on the sixth day, and he created man as well. Now, there is a verse there that will give you the clue that you need, because Sonini will not allow them to remove everything. All right, so of course Sonini proclaim that we are to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And he also proclaimed that I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And Sonini saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So this is in Genesis 1, verses 26 to 31. If you read that section for yourself, you'll see exactly what I just read. And that is the first, and that is the most important clue and the fact. That's the evidence that you need to know that Sonini does not condone the eating of animals. For one thing for sure, he said we have dominion over the earth and the animals, right? And that does not include consuming them. He also outlined what it is that we are supposed to consume. He outlined that we are supposed to consume the fruits, right? And we only consume herbs for medicinal purposes. And the herbs now is what the animals consume. So he not only told us what we are supposed to consume, he told us what the animals are to consume. And he explained what we have dominion over. And this is a side note. That also explained that man is not supposed to have dominion over man, or woman over woman, or man over woman, because we're all equal in the sight of Sonini and Nini. His creation is his supreme creation, which is the descendants, his children, are equal in his eyes. There is no inequality as it relates to man and woman, right? What we have power over, what we have dominion over or rulership over, is the animals that are on the land. And one might say, so what's the use of animal then? And I'm saying that only because it has been posed to me. The animals are a part of our ecosystem. What's the purpose of the sun? What's the purpose of the moon? What's the purpose of the earth? What's the purpose of the wind? What's the purpose of anything that we have in our ecosystem, in our environment? What keeps balance, right? Equilibrium in our ecological system. And we forget that the animals are critical, if not the most critical part of keeping that balance, of keeping that harmony on Mother Earth. That is what they're here for. And they're also here to be like beasts of burden. So as we need labor to be done, we use these animals to carry whatever we need to carry to labor. And we don't do it to the extent where we're abusing the animal. We don't overladen them. We don't work them and not give them rest. And we don't have them manufacturing and working around the clock, but they're there to give us a lending hand in anything that we put our hands to, because we're just as creative as our creator, right? We were not able to create the earth, right, and the universe, but we can create within our own community, within what we have dominion over, and we do use our animal that is a part of our ecosystem that keeps balance to help us in this work as well. So that is what they're there for. They're not there to be food. They're not there for meat, which is why later on in the Bible, it does outline that, hey, you're going to find that the lamb, and in some version, it's going to say the wolf. It's going to, the wolf or the lion will lay with the lamb. And that is to say that we're going back to the state that it once was, the original idea. And never should you assume that Sonini make error or changes his mind. Whatever is in the beginning, so it shall be in the end. And if it was so in the beginning, and if it will be that way in the end, that's what we're supposed to be aiming as individual to accomplish. We're not supposed to be sitting and saying, okay, then when the end comes, that's when I'll do it. No, you need to reflect into yourself, make the necessary changes, and take your time. I mean, when you don't, someone that is addicted to drugs takes time to detox. It is the very same thing with all the processed food we eat, the GMO food we eat, the meat we eat. It's a process. So don't feel judged. Don't feel awful within yourself. What should make you feel awful or feel judged is if you try and to say that no, eating an animal is a righteous thing. And I say that also to say that we don't consume meat because we like the taste of meat. We like the seasoning that we put on the meat. If you truly like meat, put it in some water, give it a boil, or fry it without any seasoning. Or and then you can put a little salt, a little black pepper on it, but that's all. Boil it, fry it, bake it, whatever way you want to do it. And you will not enjoy it. You will not desire it. You will not even consume it because it is not the meat that you're enjoying. It's the seasoning that is on it, right? So that again tell you that, hey, this is not something that you're used to historically, ancestrally. It is something that is modern within the last 6,600 years that we've picked up based on the other races that just eat other animals. I mean, this topic does have a lot of facets of it that we have to explore, but I want to introduce it into your thoughts and leave you to think about it a little bit. Also, the earth is not a being, because it is a being, it's a spirit. The earth is not a being or a spirit that is supposed to receive blood in any way. It is here to keep us dwelling on it, to keep us alive, to keep us happy, keep us flourishing, and that includes the animals as well. It's not just us as what we claim to be humans, right? Or the nine-eater being as we are. Mankind and human is a whole different group species that dwell among us as if they are one of us. But the earth is not supposed to receive blood. We're not supposed to spill blood. If the animals were supposed to be eaten, they would not cry out for mercy. They would not have blood running through their vein. They would not try to escape when you're trying to kill them. The plant doesn't do that. The fruit doesn't do that, right? And also, when you consume it, regardless of how organic it is, it deteriorates in your intestines much, much sooner than it should or would if you were supposed to consume it. It's a dead carcass, so it's rotting in your stomach. Your intestines are so long that it takes a time before it actually exits. And in that time, it's already decaying, right? And it's not adding nothing to your body. It's doing pretty much the same thing that if you had eaten another human does to your body. You're basically eating the secondhand or rather than eating the plant that have the direct nutrients in its basic form, you're eating the animal that consumed the plant, trying to get the nutrients that it consumed from the plant. You're trying to get that from a secondary standpoint. Why not just go directly to what the animal get their food from, which is the plant, the fruits and all of that. And then you won't get the byproduct, the waste product that cause all these ailments from the animal as well. So you want to take that into consideration. The beast of the field that eats animals, other animals, they actually have a shorter intestine, so the when they eat the meat, it passes through them, and they also have a different composition as it relates to the hydrochloric acid that's in the stomach that actually break down the animal meat. We talk about the fact that we have canines in our mouth as the animal do, and that's why we're supposed to be meat eaters. That is not true. The canines that you have in your mouth is not for eating meat. It's not for ripping meat. The way the lion get down and rip that meat off the bone, rip that flesh off, you cannot do that with your canine, right? And that's the reason why we even go through the cooking process. That's the only reason why we go through the cooking process, because we weren't designed for that. So yeah, that's pretty much sums up the topic. And I can't wait to do a second part on this or to hear your feedback on it. So thank you all for joining me today. Have yourself a wonderful day and stay tuned and be there as the spirit guides me. Hallelujah to Sonini Nanini.